able to do this. That would be interesting. Maybe? Maybe? Ugh. I'm not even paying attention to this. Whale. That's... yeah. No, I just really didn't want to work as much as I was working. Kind of got tired of working crazy hours, so I decided to just kind of say, you know, fuck it. But I told them, I was like, look, I'm just not gonna do this. I can't do it anymore. Like, I'm just aggravated with all of this, and yeah. So they decided to move me down, keep me where I was at, but they were like, okay, they're like, you can like move down to a 3-day work week, but your hours increase on the day that you're there. So I'll work 3 13 to 14 hour shifts, sometimes longer depending, but it's like I'm technically scheduled 8 to 9, but I'm sure I'll be working like 8 to maybe midnight or something like that, but it's only 3 days a week, so can't really complain. So yeah, that was my plan. I finally was just like, you know what? I need time off. I need time to just kind of do what I gotta do and go from there. Ooh, does this? Okay. Ooh. Can I save this as a document? Can't really save this as a document. Let's see.
The battle commences in 10 seconds.
Documents. An XPS document. So let's see. I probably don't want to name it that. Let's try to send it with something a little bit more professional. Let's see if I can send it as an XPS. Okay. So the Master of Destruction build that I had built before, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to chat right now. The Master of Destruction build that I have focuses mainly around my all-cell burn skill, and it's supposed to basically make my E on the basis of my damage. Now the problem is that kind of makes Azmodan kind of shitty for everything else, but it is his most powerful skill, so I mean, we'll see. Hopefully it kind of just works in our favor anyway. But no, my schedule won't be permanent, but it will be permanent. It'll be semi-permanent. So for the time being, we won't have an issue, but I'm sure in like a month or so, it's gonna go back to like working 4 or 5 days a week and working long shifts again. But as per like my doctor's instructions and things like that, until I'm really medically able to do so, I'm not, you know, I wasn't supposed to be on shifts 4 to 5 days a week originally. So yeah, it's kind of, that's kind of the area where I'm at. Also, I just had a random, I have no idea what that was, but it was something for sure. What was that? I got an alert, but I don't know what the alert was. Was it a follow on YouTube? Or a subscription on YouTube? It may have been. Stream labels, please. Oh yeah, okay. I just had someone that subscribed on YouTube. Okay. I was gonna say. Yeah, so this picks up my YouTube subscriptions as well. So, like my subscriptions for Twitch have different different notifications, but because everything is linked, it does kind of make that noise throughout the stream, which I'm glad, because this is like the second time I've had someone subscribe via Twitch into YouTube, so that's a good thing.
We've redesigned our trigger protectors for combat in the next.
Ooh, yes. Come on. Come here, Vala. Ooh, this is not working. Oh, he has a lot of healing. Ooh, that could definitely harm my butthole there, just a little bit.
Take control of it to pilot the mech.
I don't know if this will. Okay, I don't know if that will work, but maybe it will. So that's what I'm gonna see. So yeah, so my paycheck that was supposed to happen today, so all the work that I basically did for the last 2 weeks, I have to now wait on a paycheck that will come at some point. We have absolutely no idea when, but you know, it'll get there. We'll get it at some point. I'll get a paycheck. So you know, I'm kind of a little bit pet peeved, but yeah. All right, brother, go get the mail. So also, nice little thing to note, on my channel, for anyone that's interested in anyone that's interested in joining my crypto network, I do have the links that I use for the programs I use, I have that in my chat now. I mean, I have that on my panels now, so that's also there for anyone that's interested in kind of joining me. Ooh. No thank you. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Fucking fuck. Oh shit. No thanks. Oh my god, he grabbed me with the tip, like the tippy tip of his finger. Like, he got me. That makes me so mad. Also, the cats are being mobile and active today. We'll see. They might feature themselves on stream. We'll have to see though. Ooh. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm actually still like exhausted from yesterday. Yesterday was a long day. We have a lot of random clients come in, and like Sundays are especially our big like walk-in day. We have a lot of people that just kind of, you know, that show up. I mean, that's good for business, obviously, but people that just, you know, don't understand the necessity of calling ahead. Because at the end of the day, like, we're a hospital, you know, you don't just show up to your regular hospital. Unless you're incredibly sick, you don't show up to your regular hospital and just be like, see me today. And that's what a lot of people tend to do. Like, the vet field is just filled with clients that don't understand that we're not just like an on-call service, and you actually have to call and make appointments. When we're not busy, it's not a problem, but when we're super slammed, like we normally are on Sundays, just showing up and expecting things and getting mad when things aren't instantaneous is kind of a bit ridiculous. But it's just something that you deal with. Honestly, you just deal with people that are like that all the time, so it is what it is. Oh god. Oh, no, thank you. Fuck you, Illidan. I will get your ass. I don't even care. Oh, I'm gonna die to friggin' Yorick though. Well, we'll get 2. 2 for 1. Can't complain about 2 for 1. So, every Sunday at my job, we have, we pretty much have just like a slew of random clients. They tend to just walk in, and they always bring random assortments of problems, which is why we make about $8,000 to $10,000 on a typical day of work on Sunday. Sunday we're usually making in like I'd say anywhere between 4,000 to 6,000 range, which we honestly can't complain. We normally have like $10,000 to $15,000 weekends. Now, the fun part of it is you never know what's gonna come in. So for Easter Sunday, we have a lot of I have a lot of patients that come in, and of course, like a lot of people didn't call ahead, but I just have a lot of patients, and it happened to be that this is puppy season, so at this point in the year, there's a lot of puppies being born, and people are always buying them. And the thing is that people don't go and vaccinate their pets. Now, there's a few things that you're really watching out for, and the most common thing, especially since there's a lot of like stray dogs and raccoons in our population, there's a lot of parvo that's in the environment, and parvo is, the puppy killer of diseases, and that's not good. You definitely don't. No one wants dead puppies. So, we have on Easter Sunday we have, I want to say, 5 pets walk in. 5 pets that walk in that are all. Oh, my dog's is vomiting and diarrhea. I don't know what to do, and it just happened. It just started the other day, and etc. Like all this stuff about, oh, my pet's doing this, oh, my pet's doing that, and it's like, all right, well, do you have your pet vaccinated? And a lot of them are like, oh yeah, they got like 1 vaccine or this when they were like 8 weeks old, 10 weeks old. And it's like, yeah, well, it's not enough. For those of you that don't know, that don't have dogs, there's a tip. The average is a 4-way vaccine, which is the distemper vaccine. It covers distemper, hepatitis, parvo, and parainfluenza. Those are your standard 4 vaccine, along with Bordetella, which protects against kennel cough. And then rabies, of course. Now, based on your area, you might need the corona vaccine or lepto vaccine, or a few, Lyme virus, like other things like that. But your average distemper vaccine is a 4-way vaccine that covers those things. Now, you get 1 every 4 weeks, or roughly every 3 weeks, but anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks, from the age of 8 weeks to the age of 8 weeks to the age of 16 weeks. At 16 weeks, which at a minimum of 12, you can get the rabies vaccine. And then in Miami-Dade County, you need to register the dog via a tag that you purchase for the county that says that they've received the rabies vaccine. Well, there's not one for distemper and parvo, and I feel like getting a tag for rabies is a little less important than getting a tag for distemper or parvo, because those are more of our puppy killers, or more of our dog killers, than rabies is, honestly. But we have people that don't vaccinate their pets, and they think that, oh, because my pet didn't have it before, or I haven't vaccinated my pet before, that this is not going to happen. There's a bunch of things out there, and people are like, oh, I don't want to fill my dog's I don't want to fill my dog's body with all these poisons and stuff like this. And it's like, it's not poisons. It's, you know, it's vaccines. You know, it's just vaccines to prevent against very preventable illnesses that unfortunately can be deadly if you don't vaccinate. And I see it more often than not that people don't vaccinate and they end up in the hospital. Well, the problem is that with Parvo, it's a coin flip. It's honestly, even with the best care that you can possibly get, a Parvo diagnosis is a 50% death sentence. Some dogs just don't recover from it. Some dogs do. And in this case, we had a bunch of pets that ended up Parvo positive because they didn't have their vaccines, and you know, ended up hospitalized, and 2 of them ended up actually being hospitalized. The other people didn't have money for it because it's a few days of hospitalization and it's about a $2,500 bill. And people are like, oh, well, how much is it just to vaccinate the dog for Parvo? And I'm like, well, a Parvo vaccine is $25. If you get 1 every 3 weeks from 8 weeks to 16 weeks, you know, you're gonna get roughly 3 to 4 of them. And you're gonna spend $100 on Parvo vaccines, even if your puppy visits cost you more than just the vaccine. Even if your puppy visits cost you $100 a piece, and you do it 4 times, you spend $400 and you can avoid yourself a $2,000 to $3,000 vet bill where your pet is suffering and has all these issues. And I try to explain this to people, and people just kind of don't understand. But at the end, when they're watching their dog not recover, or their dog just, you know, their dog ends up not recovering for whatever reason, or even when they do, they're talking to me about, oh, well, you know, what do I do from this point? I was like, well, you vaccinate the dog, make sure that it never gets this again, and you know, you just gotta pay attention. Like, just take care of your pets. Like, if you don't have the money to spend on a dog, please don't get a dog, because they're expensive. At the end of the day, dogs are like children, and cats too. You know, they're a little less expensive than dogs are, but having animals is expensive, and people don't seem to grasp that concept. And it makes me really sad to have, you know, dogs that just don't make it. It really does make me sad to have dogs that just don't make it because people don't vaccinate. And that's where the problem is, you know. And I hate the fact that people, you know, are equating, you know, issues with human vaccines with issues with animal vaccines, when the reality is it couldn't be any more different, you know. It's a totally different concept. And that's just, it frustrates me. It frustrates me because, you know, these pets have the ability, you know, to live. There's nothing really out there that's, you know, killing their dog other than people just being non-compliant with vaccines. And that's just, it's something that I just don't know, you know, I don't know how to effectively communicate to people. I really, truly don't. And that's where a lot of issues come in, is people think that, you know, you're trying to push these vaccines on them, like, oh, you know, your dog doesn't need this, or oh, your pet doesn't need that, I'm just trying to make money. Like, I don't make money on vaccines. I never make money on vaccines. I make money on your pet being better, because your pet coming in, I mean, I'm sorry, I make money on your pet being sick. I don't make money when your pet's better. So when I'm telling you, hey, let's vaccinate, you know, let's vaccinate today so that I don't have to see you with these problems, you know, it's not me trying to make money. It's me trying to say, hey, I want your pet to be healthy. You know, I want your pet to be healthy. I want your pet to be able to function without real issues. And, you know, people think that I'm out here to try to take advantage with the $25 vaccine. And it's just, I don't know. I really don't. You know, I'm just confused when people seem to mistake what I'm doing for, you know, people seem to just not grasp the concept of, hey, spend $100 now so you don't have to spend thousands of dollars later. You love how much your dog costs, taking to vet and get everything she needs. Well, yeah, I know you own a 120-gallon saltwater reef tank. That's a little, that's costs that no one should ever have to afford, because those things are expensive as all hell. Even a freshwater tank, my 75, cost me almost 700 bucks to get it started, and I can't even imagine how much it costs for that reef tank. Like, you're nuts. I'm sorry, you're nuts. But just you know, think about it. You know, I think about it in this fashion. You know, it's, let's say, and I had something happen to me recently with, not with my pet, but with someone else that brought it in. They tell me, hey, my dog just, you know, I had a dog that was basically outdoors, and I don't know if I went to another clinic and he was heartworm positive, and it's like, he's, you know, their dog is heartworm positive, and, you know, heartworms is nothing to take, you know, is definitely nothing to take lightly. And I tell them, I'm like, look, your dog is heartworm positive. Your dog needs not only immediate medical intervention, because heartworms can obstruct blood flow in the heart and essentially kill the dog, where they basically have an embolism of some form. Like, I just don't, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why people aren't just willing to pay even money for heartworm prevention. In South Florida, you need it all year round because heartworms are carried by mosquitoes. But I tell people, I'm like, would you rather spend, like, it costs, I think, like $100 for 6 months worth of heartworm medication. I mean, would you rather spend $200 a year or spend $1,000+ on heartworm treatment, and then your dog never recovers from it? They recover from the worms, but any damage done to the heart is permanent. The organs don't necessarily heal. Your dog may have a cough the rest of his life, may have issues going outside and acting like a normal dog, and all that. Like, all that for what? Just because you didn't want to spend the $50 on heartworm meds? Like, the $100 on heartworm meds? And some of it's not even that expensive. A box of heartworm meds at my hospital cost $50. Well, it's like $48. It's like, so you spend less than $100 a year on heartworm medication. Like, it's a no-brainer. And I try to put the numbers out there for people. When people are like, oh, you're just trying to use scare tactics. I'm like, I'm not using scare tactics. I've just worked in the field for so long that I know what it costs, and I don't want people to be hospitalized. I don't want dogs to be hospitalized. Like, you don't understand. Like, I don't get any pleasure out of charging you, you know, $1,500. It doesn't give me any pleasure. What gives me pleasure to see dogs for wellness visits. That gives me pleasure. Seeing happy, healthy dogs, that gives me pleasure. But exactly, Mebs, like, you go in, and it's like, they hand you an estimate for what, like $150? And you're like, oh my god, like $150, that's really not much in the grand scheme of things. It really isn't. It's like, oh, here's $150, this will take care of it. Your dog now has meds and is fine.
The protector is
like, that's what I try to tell people. I'm like, you need to spend a little bit of money, and once you do, your dog will be happy and healthy. Like, isn't that the whole thing? Do you want your dog to spend time with me in the hospital for like days, if not weeks, hospitalized? with a likelihood, like, the outcome of it being is usually not successful. There's some cases where dogs recover well, but in most cases for, like, for communicable diseases, they don't really have a good chance of recovery. And there's nothing I can do about it aside from give them treatment. And even my treatment is not 100% effective. It gives them a better chance than just going home, but it's not, you know, it's not effective.
So that is the extent of the focus.
On another note, I really did terrible this match, but we won, so I'm gonna take credit for that win. Oh, MVP. Oh, there, Leoric. Was I even on the board? I wasn't. I was the only one not on the leaderboard. That means that I was the true ultimate MVP. They can't put it on the board because everyone would be mad jealous if they did.